Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
10D Tech. 10D Tech delivers fast, friendly, and fully managed IT services for Oregon businesses. No downtime, no tech headaches, just reliable support you can count on. 10dtech.com and call 541-250-3672. Join Bosun Hub in supporting Kickin Cancer, empowering individuals and their families to thrive in their cancer journey. Together, we're building a stronger, more connected community. Kicking-cancer.org. Buddy Puckett at Guild Mortgage. Select from hundreds of loan products tailored to your needs. Find the loan to fit your life at guildmortgage.com and call Buddy Puckett at 503-851-8031. Independent Merchant Brokers. Innovative solutions for your payment processing needs. 877-460-4747 and on the web, independentmerchantbrokers.com. Discover Oregon Real Estate. Statewide experts in luxury home sales, farm, ranch, commercial, business sales, and land developments. Call 541-250-1065 and visit them online at dore.llc.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
2026.
Here we are, live and ready to roll on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, local Live with Russ and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing great. It's funny. We just ended 2025, which was for me, it was a great year. Let's start again. Your year ended great because your scans came back with no disease in your body. A lot of people are saying, they're happy to kick 2025 to the curb. It was a great year for us, but I'm looking forward to 2026 as well. A lot of good things going.
Oh my goodness. God was so good in 2025. A year ago, this New Year's, I was in the hospital, so it didn't start so good. And then, so I've had some super lows and some super highs because yes, on my scans in the fall, they came back, no sign of disease. Praising God for that. So many great things, so many miracles over this year, tremendous miracles I'm so thankful for. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm looking forward to a better and more prosperous for my body, healthy, and for all that we are doing here, Scott, to be able to encourage people, inspire them. God is with them and great things are happening.
Well, it's been encouraging because literally God has used your cancer journey to get people around the world to rally with you and each other to pray.
For sure. It's been a blessing. And I had the opportunity to write. Life happens and then you choose. There you go. And it was such a blessing because it happened within that time frame of being in the hospital to coming. And actually it was published, Scott, and I've said this before, it was published and then I found out the results of my scan. So what a blessing. And so I guess I'm going to have to write another book at some point, but yeah, anyway,
this one's been doing great. #1 bestseller, great reviews that are coming in. You had some amazing people write testimonials that are published inside the book. I'm not looking at anyone specific, just me.
Well, you know what? I'm telling you, Mr. D. Scott Smith, of course, was in there. And, some amazing people. Bob Goff, international, our #1 bestseller on New York Times bestseller. Yeah. It's just some amazing people. But, I think what is important for people to know that I really feel like God placed this in my heart to encourage and inspire you that are watching. It's available, by the way, at Willamette Valley Christian Supply in Albany. And I did this to be obedient to God, because I think that a lot of people need that. They need that lift. And I've been blessed to be able to produce something, or with a lot of help, including yours, Scott, to get this done. And thankful for Liz Lawless. Thank you to Ever, all the amazing people that helped me put that together. So,
Yep. I just want to run through real quick and say thank you to all of our sponsors. Wax made a comment that we have great sponsors. She's not wrong. We have great sponsors. I want to thank Bosun Hub for encouraging everyone to support Kickin Cancer. For Tendy Tech, I will just say computers are more vulnerable today, my friends that know about the internet. Say the attacks are more relentless than ever. Tendy Tech is great. Independent merchant brokers, credit card processing, pennies have gone away. And I was just talking to a retailer this morning, dropping some dry cleaning off, and he has to retool his whole processing for payments now. And so independent merchant brokers, work with them. Discover Oregon Real Estate. They find the right place and then go over to Buddy Puckett at Guild Mortgage and refinance your house, get a loan. We have great sponsors. We've got the full package right here on the Experience Local.
Oh my goodness. We are so blessed. And don't forget, we are also listener supported. Anybody that wants to scan the QR code or go to the link in the comments, that is such a blessing to us as well. Just want to remind you all as we get started here, because you do not want to miss Baron of Kickin Cancer, who's coming. Please remember to share this out. Okay, share it with your friends and let them know. Just tag them. If you're watching live, that would be great. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. You can tag them. They can watch on replay. That would be so great. And for more information on Scott and I, you can go to local.theexperience.video. That's all the information about Scott and I, and not only this show, but our other experience shows and the Waco experience that Scott is doing amazing there in Waco, Texas. Do that. And if you want to go directly to our YouTube page and subscribe, you go to the experience.video today, and that would be so great. And I think with that, we should get Baron in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got great stuff going on, and we want to share that with everybody.
All right, Mr. Baron Robison, let's give it up. Woo!
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Baron. How are you?
Oh, just so blessed to be here, Russ. Just so blessed to be here.
Well, we're so thankful for you, all that you do. I personally cannot even begin to tell people, with all the miracles that happened to me last year, you were part of those miracles. And, making it through a cancer journey financially is very, very stressful, trying, and hard. And because of you and others, I'm here still, and I'm financially stable with my beautiful wife. So that's great. So Baron, give everybody a little feedback or a little info on who in the world is Baron and Kickin Cancer. What's it all about?
Well, Kickin Cancer kind of accidentally started about 8 years ago. My sister had gotten a diagnosis of cancer. She lives down in Arizona, and I wanted to find some way to support her. And they were doing this thing out in Canby that called the Warrior Dash, an obstacle course race with mud involved in it. And I just asked if she wanted to come up in here and do it with me. I was working at Costco at the time, and some of my friends said, "Hey, can we do it with you?" And before I knew it, I had about 40 people out there just showing some love and support to her. And we thought, well, maybe we could do this with some more people. And over time, we just kind of found other people that we could find ways to support. And it began to blossom into something that I had really no idea where we were headed. But here we sit 8 years later, and it was actually a year ago that we were putting the touches on a concert for you, Russ. The Russ Rock concert was just almost a year ago.
Hard to believe. Oh my goodness. Those Russ Rocks concert were so much fun, and what an amazing community that came together because of Kickin Cancer. And I think that's such a blessing. A lot of this too, Baron, I know that you have a strong faith, and God has really driven a lot of all that you're putting together because you care about people so much. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think that's the key is, when we started creating some T-shirts and wanted to put a logo on it, it just came to my heart that we should put Hebrews 10:24 on the front of our shirts. And, just to kind of paraphrase that scripture, Paul is basically telling the Hebrews that the way you show your love for each other is how you act, how you take care of each other. And so we've kind of used that as our motto for these last several years is to show love of each other through your actions. And I remember when we were trying to put your concert together, I wanted to use a band that you knew, and you said, here, get a hold of Corey Nolan. So I sent him a text. He didn't really know who I was at the time, but he called me and I said, we're trying to do this for Russ. He says, we're in. What can we do? And so we did a really wonderful little concert here in the Kaiser area, and they just really did a good concert for you back then. And that's the kind of community support that we were trying to create.
Yeah. Well,
this is,
Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, this is where, I'm thinking of that newlywed couple. They need to outfit an entire household. That's a big expense.
Yeah.
And not one that they can do themselves, but you have showers, you have wedding gifts and so forth, and the community can come together and outfit the kitchen and the household and so forth, right? And it's not a huge expense for any one person. And this is really what I see that Kickin Cancer did with that concert and some of the other activities. So let's talk about these other activities where people can come together, not at a great expense to themselves, but at great benefit to the community.
And the one we did in Corvallis is a great example of that, Scott, because we did find a band that was in that area, and they really just charged us for the setup. And the place we held it at, the Marriott down there in Corvallis.
Which is funny that you say that about the setup, because B.B. King said, we don't charge to play music, but we charge to move the equipment. So yeah, so they did the same thing. So that's great. So you got a band.
They did. They just charged to move the equipment in there. But it was just so fun because we charged a little bit of a cost to come to the concert. People realized that was going to be a benefit concert for Russ. A number of businesses in the Albany and Lebanon area donated different items that we could then use as an auction. And it was fun as the night progressed to just get a hold of that microphone again and say, hey, just a reminder, go back and look at the items you bid on, see if you're winning that bid. And I know, Russ, so many people rallied around you that night and took pictures and danced. And that's the kind of community that we were trying to create, was a place where people could just show their love for each other in a very natural way through events like that concert.
Oh my goodness. I can't even begin to tell you what a blessing it was to see all the people that showed up, and some people that you might never expect show up and are so supportive, and what a blessing. And everybody had a lot of fun, and it was a very positive thing. At the time, I was still at stage 4 cancer, dealing with that and trusting God, because after my release from the hospital in January, as you know, Baron, I just had to go on the trust God and let it ride because of the fact that the treatment was killing me faster than the cancer was. Yeah. And so this was through a kind of a trying time and very tough financially and trying to do all that stuff. And it was really a blessing to me and so many other people that were involved. It was a blessing to them. And so you bringing together community is so important. Talk about that. Talk about community and all you do, put some of the other events you put on.
Well, and I think that's the key is it really is about the community. It's about the people that love you and want to be there for you. You've been to a couple of our golf tournaments, Russ, and we try to do these golf tournaments where we can rally around somebody at those as well. And there was one we did this summer, and it was a little 8-year-old girl whose family was just totally rocked when they found that their 8-year-old had a cancer. It was along her jaw right here, which is a very odd place. And so the Pacific Stair Company said, hey, what can we do? And we did a golf tournament over in the Staten area and just filled the course up with people out there. But the beautiful thing was when it was all said and done, the Pacific Stair Company, they said, you know what, whatever you raise, whatever the number is that it gets raised here, we'll match it. And so once again, you were talking about last year, you were on stage 4 cancer. Well, people forget there's stage 5 cancer. Stage 5 cancer is the financial aspect. It's the money that cancer just sucks away from you. And anything that we can do to help financially is just a blessing to those families. And that's what we want to be able to do for them.
I haven't heard that stage 5, but I know the concept. I know what you're talking about. So that's a good thing. So just to remind everybody that we've got Baron Robison from Kickin Cancer. That's kicking-cancer.org. Go find them on the website. You're a nonprofit organization.
Yes.
Baron. So tell us about how people can support this. It's great when they can come to events, but what else can people do?
We do a wonderful radio show ourselves, and Russ has been on a couple of times. We're always looking for guests to bring their inspirational stories on our radio show. Maybe they're affiliated with a product or a service that can assist people. So if someone would like to get involved with us that way too, my email address is on the website, but it's really simple. It's EXEC DIR, so it's executive director abbreviated at kicking-cancer.org. Just get a hold of us and say, I would love to share my story of inspiration and hope that would help somebody else's in their journey. And I know Russ is a huge believer in the stories that you tell inspire others all along the way.
Yeah, well, and that's what people really need, I think, is when you're going through a tough time, you need to know other people that have made it through, or that are going through and making it through, right? Because we all have to go through challenges in life. God never told us life was going to be easy. In fact, he told us we're going to have troubles, and we need to be there to support each other and help each other. I want to ask you, so this all started with your sister, who's an amazing person, and she's still battling. And so talk a little bit about the importance of family through it all and how this is so personal to you.
And I think that's what's the real challenge is that our family is kind of spread out. There's 4 siblings. I'm still here in Oregon. My sister down in Arizona. We've got one in Missouri and one in New York. And when her diagnosis happened, she knew she needed some support. And I knew I couldn't be there to support from distance. And so all of the things we were able to do from here just gave her the strength and the courage to keep doing what she does. She gets up in the morning like you, and she goes for walks, and she's conscious of what she's eating, and just continue her personal battle. But it was the community that we created here. And there was one time we had done some Spartan races, Russ, and her husband says, "Hey, they do Spartan races down here in Arizona." And she says, "I don't do the Spartan races just to the Spartan. I do it in Oregon because that's where my community's at." And it was just very viable to her to be up here, to be with those friends that she wanted to do the races with.
You mentioned the Spartan race and the warrior race as well. Just to let people know, I did one of these. I did a Spartan sprint a while back, and you're crawling under the barbed wire, through the mud, over fences, over ladders, throwing spears at big hay bale Spartans, right? I mean, it's the whole thing. It's a lot of fun, but it took me 2.5 hours to do a 3K race, just to give people an idea of what's in their way.
Right.
So those are a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun. And the great thing, Scott, is that they have what they call elites. They have the guys that are really good athletes, and they can really zip through that course in like 30, 40 minutes. But they have this set up so that anybody can get out there and do something like this. And the goal of the guy who started the Spartan race was to get 1 million people off the couch doing something. And so whether it takes you 2.5 hours like you, or whether you're racing it for time, the fact that you're doing something, and that was the critical part. And we just had fun doing it.
Yeah, that was great. I did it. I brought a friend of mine, my brother-in-law. The 3 of us did it together, and we stayed together the whole time because that was part of the fun. And there was a veteran, wounded veteran, that was there. Double amputee, had no legs. And he was competing, and man, he had an entire cheering section following him, guys in the race with him, and friends and family following him through the entire course. It literally will bring tears to your eyes if you go just to watch, to see how people support each other through this. And I think it's a really good example. That's a visible example of what Kickin Cancer is doing.
Yeah, the great thing about the Spartan race, and it is a good example of what we try to do here with Kickin Cancer, Scott, is, with the Spartan race, you can get to an obstacle and you can't accomplish it. It's just too hard. You're just challenged with it. But people will be there to help you do that. And you may never see them again. They may help you and then they're gone. And if we can be there in some small way for somebody and still be with them, or they're gone, either way. But it's that community support to get through that obstacle. That's our goal.
Right. And that community support is what families really need that are going through this. I have been involved in several things that you do, and part of it started before my cancer journey. We had a friend who went through her cancer battle, and Jennifer didn't make it, but right at the end, we did something. You did something for her, and I was part of that. And that was right when I found out that I was diagnosed with melanoma. And so that was the end of her story, was the beginning of my story.
Right.
And and sometimes that's the toughest thing for me, is losing friends in the middle of everything that's going on. But when you're part of community and you come together, it helps keep everybody encouraged and everybody moving in a positive direction. I think that's what's so important.
Yep. And that was, I think, the event that you're referring to was such a fun surprise, because Jennifer didn't know we were doing. We kind of worked alongside Bree Miller and some of her staff members to do this flash mob singing Take Me Out to the Ballpark. But the look on her face, and again, Scott, this one wasn't a monetary thing. There was no money raised for her. It was just that support that she knew everybody was there for her as she was going through that battle right there towards the end.
There's two kinds of support, and the psychologists will tell us there's enacted support and perceived support. And enacted support is the, bringing meals over to people, driving them to appointments and things like that, right? Doing things for people, enacted support. Perceived support, turns out that it's actually more important when they've measured this, when they've done tests on this. And the perceived support is just knowing that you have people there for you, that there's organizations like Kickin Cancer, that there's friends like Russ, right? That if I need something, I know that the community is there for me. And I know we've got some great comments. Ann Wax has made some comments about the importance of community. And so let's talk about some more of those things that Kickin Cancer is in the greater cancer support community.
I think one of them that I've tried to work hard on is linking up with other organizations. There's one in the Portland area called Breast Friends. There's one down in Corvallis that's at the Oral Cancer Society, and many others. But sometimes I'm not the best answer for someone, but I can guide them to someone who is. And if we can create a system where multiples can work together, then you can get the support you really, really need. And I think that's the key for many people, is they don't even know where to go. They don't know where to start. And if you know where to start, then you need someone to guide you through it. And if we can create that kind of a system for them, more power to us.
Yeah. Well, and I've been blessed to be able to connect you and my good friend, Mr. Tim Sohn, perspectives on cancer on opposite sides of the country. And I think that, it's important, no matter where people are located, to know that they can support each other. And I always promote different organizations coming together, a rising tide lifts all ships, right? We need to continue to help each other out. And that's how we get the word out. That's how we help people. So, Baron, as we wind things up, tell everybody your gold nugget of today, what you really want them to remember about today's conversation, and be sure you let everybody know how to get a hold of you and promote anything you need to promote.
Well, I think the biggest nugget today is to realize that you're not alone. Whether it's cancer or any other thing you've got, you're not alone. And like Russ says, life happens, and then you have to choose. And once you know that you're not alone in that journey, don't be afraid to reach out for some help. And that's what we're here for. If you go to our website, again, it's kickin-cancer.org. There's a number of inspirational stories on there that I have known many people have been on a chance to read and be inspired by somebody else's journey. There's a wonderful little search engine there. Just go to that search engine and put in Russ's name and his story will pop up. Or put in, the word breast, if you're trying to find something with breast cancer stories. But I would encourage you to check out our website. Again, you can get an idea of what we're doing as an organization and how that can help you in your own personal journey. And I just appreciate all that you do, Russ, all the people that you connect together, because it's been wonderful, the people I've been able to meet through you in this journey.
Yeah, well, you've been a blessing to me, Baron. And I think that, as connection and true community goes, we lift each other up, we help each other out. And, I've been able to connect you to people, you've been able to connect me to people, and just such a blessing, such a blessing. So listen, I want to thank you so much for being here today. I know you had a few technical issues trying to get on, so thanks for persevering. And
we made it work.
We did. It was so amazing. So awesome. Appreciate you, Baron. We're going to say goodbye on screen, but hang tight here until after we're done. All right.
We'll see you, Baron.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow. I tell you, such a great guy and such an amazing organization.
These organizations that spring out of a need, like Baron and his sister, are the best ones out there, right? This is just, there was a gap that was there. He filled it, and now it's helping so many more people in providing inspiration. I want to thank the people that joined us and commented, for Ann and Colleen, who have come and join and support the Experience Local, our believers in business. And thank you to, as we enter into 2026, Russ, thank you to the radio stations that broadcast this so that more people can get this type of inspiration and learn about ways to be able to support Kickin Cancer. And that's kickin-cancer.org. And people can go and make a donation, get involved.
Oh, yes. Please, 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 everybody, make sure that you support Kickin Cancer. They need your support so they can support other people. And that's so true of so many things. We are so thankful for your support and the fact that we can get the good word out about what God is doing in our communities and the worldwide, but especially locally in our community. We're all about local businesses, nonprofits, things happening and supporting them, because worldwide is amazing, but don't forget your local communities. And this is true of everybody, no matter where you're watching from. You have a local community you can support, and that's what this is all about. And Scott, as we get ready to wrap up this first actual episode of the new year, any last comments?
Well, I'll just say thank you to everybody that supported the show so far this year. In this coming up to this year, and that's going to be supporting us in 2026. You can go to local.theexperience.video. Think of it as a tip jar. There's a button there you can click and support the show, support our sponsors, consider being a sponsor of this show. And for those of you who will be in the Orlando area next week, the 15th through the 18th, Russ and I will be together there on the other side of the continent and at PodFest.
It's going to be very exciting. I'm super excited because going to learn a lot. We've been doing this a long time, Scott, but you're never too old to learn. And I have a ton to still learn. I'm very excited about being able to build more community and more connection with those doing live streams and podcasts and all of that. And to meet some really super great friends that I've never met in 3D. Looking forward to that as well. So, Scott, thanks again, everybody. We're here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. And with that, we're going to say goodbye for today. So have a good one. Enjoy life and enjoy
your local experience.
There you go.
Thank you for tuning in to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Experience Local with Russ and Scott.